Chapter 143. Further reform proposals. Dispute. However, after the course of 1 year, when everything was fairly in order, and also some of the feudal lords began to pay a moderate tribute again, which was welcomed relief for the substantially reduced population of Hanoch, at least for as long as all the newly landscaped gardens became properly fruit-bearing, the 1,000 lords came together again for another summit to receive from the two wise councillors further rules of conduct. When the council was gathered, and the two were entreated to let their voices be heard for the general good, the two got up and spoke. Thus listen to us, you high council of the city Hanoch. You have been convinced that everything we have advised you about always led to the best results, and will even become better, depending on what was started, to become more and more entrenched and perfect. Of this you can be convinced of in advance. Thus also our vassals will freely commit to paying their taxes, as we will be able to continually reduce them by producing enough for our own moderate consumption from the substantial open areas of the city. Also, our moderate lifestyle will not easily entice new settlers into the city, but rather more shoppers to buy our useful products for a reasonable price. By that we, as well as our descendants, if they want to walk in our footsteps, will maintain this most ancient, most venerable city in the world in a most flourishing condition, and none of its inhabitants will ever have to complain of distress. If we further will refrain from enriching ourselves through foreign nations, and if they will discover no wealth on us, but only bourgeois activity and frugality, no powerful becoming nation will ever be tempted to subjugate us and take away the treasures we did not have. But on the contrary, we will not be safe for 1 hour from robbers and looting. All this is now justly calculated, and an uninterrupted happiness of Hanoch is written with iron letters. But there is only one thing that we have not yet pronounced for the complete realization of our advice, and we have reserved it for last as the crown of everything. And this one thing is that we need to begin in all earnest to believe in God, the Almighty, and we also need to teach the citizens of this city from the ground to recognize, worship, and love this one God, which they, including us, have completely forgotten. Without that, all our best advice will sink into the dust of nothingness, and it will take only a few years to put us in an even greater misery than we have ever experienced before. Therefore, we need to reopen the 2 temples of Lamech again, and duly sacrifice to God the only Lord, our thanks and plea offering therein. During this speech, many councillors quite formidably began to turn up their noses. But no small number nevertheless agreed with the two. but they insisted on the construction of several temples. But some of the councillors did not want to hear anything about it, and instead recommended that the areas where the two temples were standing should also be transformed into gardens. And so a dispute arose among the councillors. But the following will show the outcome of it.